Hey, Nope Coach listeners. It's Suzanne Culberg. Welcome to episode 55, Getting Shit Done. The irony of this topic as I sit down to record this is not lost on me, because there are times where it's full on, let's get shit done mode. And there are times when it's like, I'll do it tomorrow / Monday / next month / can I palm this off to someone else or do it never? And at the time of recording this, I'm in the latter. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it later. And it never ceases to amuse me in whatever it is that I'm teaching, coaching, working through, creating, that I often teach what I most need to learn so that I can learn it. So perhaps the next episode of this show should be how to make $1 million, and then I can have that lesson. In all seriousness, getting shit done. How do we commit? How do we follow through? How do we have the staying power to get shit done? Unfortunately, there's no universal answer to that question. We are all wired differently. We all respond differently to motivations, to inspirations. And I think for me, there's a difference between I'm going to get this done no matter what, and I'm going to get this done as long as it's convenient. And so I encourage you to think about where in your life is your commitment no matter what, and where in your life is your commitment as long as. So for example, this podcast, I have committed to doing 100 episodes straight over 100 days. This is episode 55. We've just reached over the halfway point. And I'm recording this on a Friday afternoon. I'm just about to go and pick up my kids up from school. And I honestly was tempted to just go, nah, she'll be right. I'll pick this up on Monday. Couple of days, won't hurt. Nobody will know. It's not affecting anyone. I don't get paid to do these shows. So it can be easy to put things aside when our commitment to get that shit done is as long as. And then when things come up, I don't feel like recording today. I'm tired. It's cold. I'm in a shitty mood. A shitty mood as she's recording about get shit done. Oh, the irony. Versus actually, I made this commitment to do this show for 100 days, no matter what, not as long as. And the justifications and the thoughts that come up in our mind. What if it's not very good today? I'm just not feeling it. It's not going to be my best effort. How often does our best effort prevent us from getting anything done? No shit whatsoever. And there will be areas in your life that you have the commitment to get the shit done no matter what. For example, those of you listeners who are parents, whether it be to human babies or fur babies, you've made that commitment to look after them no matter what. If your child needs feeding, you don't go, oh, can't be bothered cooking. We'll just not have dinner tonight. They can just starve. You might not cook. You might not eat what you plan to. You might order takeaway or Uber Eats or whatever, but you will feed them no matter what. If your child has a nightmare in the middle of the night and they need your attention, you're not going to be like, yeah, nah, just let them cry. You're going to get up and tend to them. And it's funny, at the time recording this, my son Casimir said to me this morning, he was so grateful for how I helped him with a nightmare last night. I have no recollection of it whatsoever. I honestly, not even a vague recollection, but we do the thing, we take the action in some areas of our life, no matter what. And then in other areas of our life, it's as long as. I will go to the gym as long as I wake up in time. I will go for that walk as long as it's not too hot or not too cold. I will, and there is nothing wrong. I'm not meaning to, downplay as long as commitments. But if you're continually not getting the shit done that you want to get done and forever getting everybody else's shit done, like if somebody needs you, you drop your thing in an instant and are at their side, there is a difference between, and this all comes down to boundaries, and it's what I work on a lot with my clients and in my program, Why Wait, boundaries. So say, for example, at the time that I am recording this, my children are at school, but I do often work when they're at home. If I'm recording and I've made that, no matter what commitment, this show's got to go out today, they know not to interrupt me unless it's an emergency. And even then, we've had to have a discussion about what an emergency is, because what an emergency is to their pushing 40 mum is not an emergency to my 7, 9, or 8 and 9-year-old now. But the thing is, when we have these discussions, us following through on our commitment, when it's a no matter what, this show is going to go out, the podcast gets recorded, not as long as the kids don't need me to interrupt an argument about who gets to watch the television or who is right about something inconsequential, according to me, not according to them. So all of this to say, what goals do you have in your life? What are you working towards? What desires do you have? I love the TV show Lucifer on Netflix. What is it you truly desire? And for many people, we're not even consciously aware of that. We get stuck in the humdrum, the day-to-day. I love today's, actually, I'll see if I can find it. There's a page I follow on Instagram called Disappointing Affirmations, and I was highly amused by today's one. Let's see if I can find it while I am recording this. Here we go. You are exactly where you need to be. Working a job you hate because food and housing and healthcare aren't free, and you're massively in debt from buying things to fill the void in your soul. It's called Disappointing Affirmations for a reason, people. But the thing is, when we aren't getting shit done that we want to get done, then we find ourselves filling the void with things, food, in my case, books, it could be games, it could be alcohol, it could be whatever, collectibles, that quote, it's so hit it on the nail on the head. And for many of us, how many of us is the reason that we don't have any space or capacity to get the shit done that we want to get done because it isn't income producing. So we end up working a job that we hate and stuck in this hamster wheel. And I'm not saying the way off that is to go completely off the grid and say, I'm going to ignore my responsibilities. Like, I don't mean anything like that. But in what ways can you get the shit done that you want to get done, or commit to doing that and taking action on it daily, no matter what, not as long as? And what would that look like after 100 days? My goal for this Note Coach podcast is 100 days. And some of the days, the episodes I get off and I'm like, oh, that was some quality content right there. And some days I get off and I'm like, wow, that was trash. But when the commitment is just to yourself, it's not you're being paid to do this, it's not your job, it's not because somebody else has asked you to do it, but it's a commitment that you make and uphold for yourself. How can you commit to getting shit done no matter what? And how will your life change as a result of that? Something to ponder. Love to hear what this brings up for you, because where in your life is there a goal or a dream or something you want to do? Learn an instrument, write, start your own podcast, or start your own entrepreneurial journey, go on a holiday. I don't know what it is, but you keep putting it off. You keep thinking, oh, as long as, and then from that moment of as long as soon as you get challenged in your commitment, you put it to the side and you never actually get the shit done that you want to get done. I'd love to know, if you're watching this on YouTube, pop it in the comments. or just whatever has come up for you from this episode. Let me know in the comments on YouTube or post it on socials, tag the episode. And yeah, have a think about it. What would it take for me to make the commitment that no matter what happens, I'm going to get some shit done today that's going to take me closer to the goal that I desire? Thanks for listening. Bye for now.